We're jumping into Week 10, illegal formation. Attorney Garrett Riley on the mic, kicking off. G, give us a recap of Week 9. Where do we stand? How are we doing on the comeback trail?
You made a little bit of headway along with our guest spot, going 2-1 on the week.
Plug Anthony Rickman, 2-1. Nice job, pal.
And I was 1-2. Dallas crushed all of us last night. We hesitated. We should have gone with Anthony's gut when he was like, something's up with the spread. It doesn't feel right.
Rickman
he was on it, man.
He said something doesn't look right, but I'm still taking Dallas. We sat here and complained that they didn't have any defense. He said it. I don't like it. It's nervous. What happens? They come out last night, lay an egg, Luker.
Yeah.
But overall, what's that take us, G? It looks like I'm 11-13.
Right.
We got the G Money at 10-14, and our guest spots combined between the two Anthonys, Macaluso and Rickman, are 4-5. Luke, what's the common denominator? Nobody is even at the Mendoza, dude. Nobody's even breaking even here. What are we doing? Luke, let's turn this thing around. All right, start us off, G. Start us on Week 10. It's the Thursday game. It's Raiders at Broncos. I see a negative 8.5 on there. That's a big number.
Yeah, we got the Raiders. Graphic of Chris Berman. He always says the Raiders are going to Mile High Stadium to play the Broncos. Then the Broncos are favored by 8.5, as Rob just said.
Big number.
I think the Raiders, unfortunately, they're bad this year. I think that's just who they are. And nothing can go right for them this season, it feels like, which is too bad because I like Geno Smith. We like Pete Carroll, Max Crosby, but now he's injured. But anyway, not having a good season.
They said they're not training him. They said they're not going to trade him. That's the wire line.
And here's one key for this week with the Raiders especially. Their defense is on the field a lot last week against Jacksonville. That was an overtime game as well. That went almost a whole overtime. So coming on a short week on a Thursday after playing a full hard-fought game against the Jaguars and coming up short, Raiders have to go to Denver. Denver's got to keep their foot on the gas here to try to stay ahead of the Chiefs and Chargers in their division.
Quarterback's getting better every game.
Knicks is getting better. Sean Payton is a good game manager. He's not going to make any kind of mistakes that are going to cost them the game or anything like that. So Mile High can be a tough place to play. So I'm going with the Broncos. I think they can come out Thursday hot and just keep the Raiders down.
Did we check the weather? Do we got any snow flurries in the forecast on the Thursday? I got to back the cousin on this one, Luke. Short and to the point. The G Money picks it. Taking Broncos 8.5. I've got to back them. One word, Knicks. I think he's getting better. I got to be honest, when he came in, I didn't see this. I didn't see him to being that elite quarterback that he's become. The comebacks he's had, the Raiders hurt, stumbling, coming into Mile High. If it's cold, the weather's a problem. I think that favors Broncos. I saw some flurries. I saw Breckenridge get a little bit of the white stuff already. I don't know if we're going to have it. But anyway, put me down, Luker. I'm backing Garrett. I'm going with the Broncos, even though we're giving up 8.5.
All right. We move to the Dolphins game. We always do the Dolphins and the Bucs. So Sunday, 1 o'clock, we got the Bills, 6-2 at Miami Dolphins, who are 2-7. Dolphins are getting 9 points at home. We were talking about this off the air.
Hate it.
The numbers, the great equalizer of the 9. What say you, Rob Sparks?
I say the same thing I said off air. I hate it. I don't know what Miami team. I know you're down on Miami after the shellacking that they gave. Miami is a dangerous team for not the playoffs, not the Super Bowl, but for the sports book industry. Depending on who shows up and how Tua spins it, that number 9 is huge. You also got the Bills going down to the Miami. Typically, they don't blow them out. They don't run the wheels off them. You never see the Bills walk out of there plus 30 on a win. They never bury the Dolphins. It's always comes down to the red zone, fourth quarter or late. Can they punch one in? 9 is a massive number, Luke. I'm looking for help on this one. If it was not a part of legal formation, I would not even be taking this game. But at the end of the day, I'm going Josh Allen on the road, giving up the 9 to the Dolphins. I think they're just going to have to scheme them up. You were saying it early, the Dolphins are not a good team, even though they have flashes of brilliance. I hate it, but I'm taking the reigning MVP on the road, even with the 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And a couple things, Miami's been losing a lot this year, but they get one win last week, and that they fired Chris Greer, the general manager. It's way past time to get rid of him. McDaniel's probably next at the end of the season. They got to bring in a new GM and a new coach that are all on the same page.
Show
Enough
some
of
money.
this. Fire the GM, let him pick the coach, keep the coach, then get another GM. You can't force these kind of relationships. So that's been the Dolphins'
Showed a lot
problem
of
for
emotion last game.
20 years. And the problem with the Dolphins, and they just traded Jalen Phillips, one of their defensive ends. So I don't know how they're going to stop the Bills' running game with Allen and James Cook. So we just lost one of our better defensive ends as well. And Miami, like you said, the flashes of brilliance, but it depends too much on perfection and accuracy. And if Tua and these guys are not on the exact same 1 second, 2 second windows, the play doesn't go anywhere. So it's not like a Bills team or an Eagles team where they have a game plan. We're going to run it. If our passing game isn't doing good, we can rely on the running game. If the running game's not doing good, we have great receivers, or we can do something with the pass. Miami's very one-dimensional. So I think Buffalo is going to be able to impose their will on them with the running game. And here's another factor: the Buffalo Bills Bills Mafia will be taking over Hard Rock Stadium. They do it every year. It's going to happen this year too, because the Dolphins fans are apathetic this year.
He's from the 305G.
And Tampa knows it too, because we've seen the Rays games when they play
Yep.
the Yankees or the Mets or the Red Sox, and the same thing with the Marlins when they play one of these teams. And
Shit,
that's
when the
gonna be
Lions
the
come to
exact thing.
town.
Exactly. People in Buffalo have been planning this trip down to Miami probably for a long time. The weather's going to be nice, and it's going to be
Weekend.
Buffalo South. They're going to take over Fort Lauderdale. They're going to take over South Beach.
Little Veterans Weekend.
So it's going to be bad. I think Buffalo's probably going to romp, so that's why I would take the Bills.
Wow.
Even though it's a 9 points, I just think
Not scared of it.
Miami's cooked.
But what about that trespassing law? All those Bills people gonna be trespassed?
We'll get to the overtime
Well,
statement
just-
that we cut. I appreciate Luke giving us that plug and that lead in
Yeah,
for the
if
next
we could
one.
get a law enforcement officer to tell them to all leave the stadium and they refuse to, maybe we can fill the jails
So
down
what
there.
Luke is saying is stay tuned for the next overtime statement that we've got lined up. Big law change as trespass, and particularly as to stadiums and big events. So stay tuned.
All right, so now we're done with that disaster.
Luke, here's the disasters. The two cousins are agreeing on the first two games.
Now we get to something juicier. Cue the AC/DC, thunderstruck time.
Gotta have it.
Patriots at Buccaneers. Pats are 7-2. Bucks are 6-2. Coming
to
off
town
the bye week, Bucks are favored by 2.5.
at home. How do you
At
feel
home?
about that? My report right here, G, is all about health. What does the injury report say?
Yeah.
So last I checked, Baker in the toe, he's practicing, coming back, should be healthy. Toe injuries are tough, right? We got Whitehead back with the quad, we got McMillan with the hamstring back, and we got Shepard with the hamstring back. We know we don't have Evans. I don't think we're going to have Irving and our big boy offensive lineman, Big Luker. Probably not. They gave him that 21-day window. I don't see how he's ready to go. Is that enough to take on the Patriots who are coming to town, who are playing unbelievable? You're hearing this kid May's name being thrown out there that he can absolutely spin it. But when I look at it, Patriots struggle with the good teams. And you say good teams, yeah, but geez, they're 7-2 or whatever, so they're winning a ton. Big test for them coming south against the Bucs. I think the bye week is exactly what they needed. I think Bowles is going to have them ready to go, and I think most importantly, number one, if Baker's healthy, can we get back into the form that we saw in the beginning? We got to have it. We've got a stretch of games coming right now for the Bucs. This is it. Make or break, Luker. We're in the trenches. We're either going to the playoffs or we're not. I'm taking the Bucs at home, even giving them 2.5. Give them that field goal. We cover. I think Bose schemes them up. I think it gives them trouble. And I think ultimately the offense gets back on track come Sunday.
Yep. New England on a 6-game win streak coming in. But, as you've alluded to, they've not exactly been murderer's row that they've been beating. You know, the Browns, some other teams.
Soft division.
Bears, yeah. But I do think the Patriots are a solid team. I like Mike Vrabel. I think he's a great coach. He's going to have these guys ready to go. But Tampa, off the bye, they're fresh. They haven't had a home game in like 20 days. So, everyone's going to be ready to go. Fans, everybody's back.
Supposed to be unbelievable weather.
Yeah, I do think it will be close, but here's where I think the X factor is Drake May, just like you said. He's on a high trajectory right now, and he's playing well. But I think Todd Bowles and that defense just have a way of confusing guys and putting the blitz on at the right times. And so I think they can do enough to confuse Drake May and make enough plays to cover the
Scheme 'em
2.5.
up. Luke, that's a trifecta for the Cousins. We're 3 for 3. We're taking the Bucs, giving up 2.5 at home.
Yeah.
All right, G, that takes us to the Sunday night. Steelers at Chargers. Chargers giving up 3. Steelers getting the 3. They're on the road. Steelers coming off a big win where they shook off the previous loss. Get back in the saddle. Looked great last week. What say you?
Yeah, that was a impressive win against the Colts, but I think there's still a little bit of inconsistency regarding the Steelers' defense and maybe even the offense at times. Sometimes Aaron Rodgers does look a little showing his age out there sometimes. Chargers also, though, they've been a little bit inconsistent, but just talk about X Factor, and the thing that carried it for me is just the home team in LA, it's the travel.
They're only given 3. They're not giving 6. They're not giving 5. They're only giving a field goal up. That's what really got me thinking on that one.
Yeah, so this is a close call, but I just could see it going the Chargers' way. I'll just the home field advantage and just the inconsistency from Pittsburgh just makes it just hard for me to trust them on the road getting only 3 points. So I would go with the Chargers on this one. That's what I think the safe money is.
Luke, we're going to go 4 for 4 with the Cousins. I'm also taking the Chargers at -3. I think the Steelers is going to be the 3rd tough game in a row that they've got to play. They've had a tough middle of the kind of schedule that they're banging. They're going to go on the road, cross country. They're going on the road, cross country. And I put down one word when I was looking at it, track meet. If they get into a track meet where they've got to air it out, Steelers don't have that firepower. All of their games are in the trenches. They're relying on the defense. They're relying on that D-line. They're big on the forced takeaways, the fumbles, the punch-outs, the tips. That's how the last 3 games that they've kind of dominated. If the Chargers don't turn the ball over early, and they've got them schemed up with that 6'5" stud who just can throw laser beams all over the field, and it turns into a track meet, I think the Steelers could actually run away with this one. Luke, stay tuned. I think the first quarter is going to dictate where this is going to be. Are they going to be able to light it up? Steelers get in a track meet, they're going to get beat, and they can't run that sprint with them. I'm taking the Chargers -3 with the Steelers on the road.
All right.
Bum, 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 bum.
So the final game, Monday night. There's some good ones Sunday and Monday night.
Ooh.
6-2 Eagles are at the 5-2-1 Packers. Right now the Packers are favored by 2.
Fly, Eagles, fly. What do you say here, Luke? I don't know. Cousin, break
Luke
it down
always goes
for
for
me.
the teams with the birds, the bird teams.
Are you going to back the Luker? Are you
Teams
taking
with
the
wings.
Pack at home, freezing ass cold, even though they're giving up 2?
Yeah, I think I'm picking the Eagles in this one. They're getting points.
Upset.
How do you give points to like one of the top 3 teams in the league? It's crazy.
Rested, healthy, coming
They've
on.
had some offensive inconsistency, but I think that the Eagles relish in these kind of games. They like the big moments. Their coach likes it. Their quarterback is cool under these kind of circumstances. And I think they just get up for these kind of games. So here you go, Monday night, going to Green Bay. Green Bay with a decent record, a lot of hype with Green Bay. So I think Philadelphia just loves the moment to come in there and be like, we're going to upset some people tonight. Green Bay on the other side, a lot of ups and downs this season, inconsistency, and they just lost their tight end to an ACL, and he's been a safety blanket for Jordan Love. And so without him, I think that takes away some of their offensive firepower and could be enough to swing this game.
Quarterback matchup right here, right?
Yeah, and so Green Bay just feels exposed right now without having him. It feels like they're a sitting duck right now for Philadelphia to come in there. So I'll take the Eagles getting 2 points.
When I read it, that's what I said. You're the Super Bowl champs who have been a little inconsistent, but yet have put in decent numbers. You got Love he's shown us this year that he can knock off the Super Bowl champ. And my position is he hasn't. They haven't been consistent. Look at the last game. Look at what they threw up, this all-world defense. Now, yeah, they have flashes of brilliance. They are strong. I don't want to discredit them. But have they shown us the consistency? When you're giving the Super Bowl champs to, you got to take them, even on the road. And I know Lambeau is an impossible place to play, but the other one was I saw what you saw, which was the injury. And when you leave that outlet, that safety blanket, because they have trouble throwing the ball down the field, the Eagles aren't going to let Love sit in the pocket. They're not going to let him just dial it up down the field. I think this becomes a banger between the tackles. If it's going to be, then I'm taking Saquon, if that's what we're going to do. If we want to just man up and go ones to ones and just bang, I'm taking Saquon. I had the Eagles as the upset. I'm with you on the road at the Pack, getting the 2. I think they hit a field goal to win it. Ball game. Count them, Luker. Ultimately, Luke, this is going to be the first time in a while, Luker, on the recap. So get ready for the outtake special. Recap is what, G? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 games with the Cousins agreeing. Take us away,
boy.
G. Thursday through Monday night. Not a lot of shocker in the industry, but maybe that's a good idea right here.
I'm never going to catch you if we keep picking the same. On Thursday, we're both on the Broncos, favored by 8.5. We're both on the Bills against the Dolphins. Bills are cover 9 points. We're both on the Bucks at home, favored by 2.5. We're both on the Chargers at home, favored by 3, and we are both on the Eagles on the road, getting 2 points. So that is illegal formation.
Mark the tape.
Week 10.
Dolphins is the one that scares me at the +9, but that was the perfect lead-in for the overtime segment, talking about crowd size, talking about trespassing those Bills fans. Stay tuned for the overtime segment. Big trespass laws changing in the state of Florida. Again, we had attorney Anthony Rickman, buddy of ours, come in, give us a breakdown how it impacts. These are actually things you might want to be aware of when you're visiting the game, because all of a sudden you catch yourself a felony and things change. Anyway, that's week 10. That's Garrett Riley from the 305. Take us away, Luke. Week 10, illegal formation. Let's go.
I think it's awesome that Luke wants to trespass all the Bills fans.